Welcome to the 2024 NCAA Draft Review. I'm going to start off with the Auburn Tigers. SEC last place, 1-15. We got a new owner this year, Offensive Taco. What a way to start. First pick of the draft, Guy Barron the second. I really like the name, by the way. Anytime you have a Barron patrolling the center field of your defense, that's always a good thing. I really like Barron. I think he's probably the best prospect, defensive back prospect to come out in quite some time. Last year, Charles Woodson was really good as well. He was a little bit more seasoned than Barron, but I think Barron has more upside when it's all said and done. I really like him as a corner. Right now, Auburn has pretty good depth at corner. They got, Ken Carroll still there, the veteran who's been really good. Kind of slowed down the last couple of years, but I still think he has a lot to offer. And they've drafted a couple young guys over the years with Ronald Clark and Charlie Snow, and they haven't always worked out as far as training camp. But I look for Barron to come in and immediately bring a presence and a leadership to that backfield. And you can move him around because he's really a guy that can play multiple positions. But for me, I like him as corner first just because of his bump and run and man coverage to go along with the rest of his great attributes. He's pretty much maxed out in everything you can possibly want a defensive back to be. Plus, he has really low vol with 8. And so this was a slam dunk pick. I think anybody picking this high probably would have taken Barron. There was a couple other options out there, the defensive end, as well as maybe a running back if he needed to shore up those areas. But with this team, I think it was a no-brainer to get Guy Barron with the first pick. Moving on to the second round, they went ahead and took defensive end David Piper, and here's one of the better defensive lineman prospects in a draft that was pretty void of talent at the defensive line outside of a couple. I was actually quite surprised that Piper ended up falling to the second round, so it was kind of a great pick to be able to land him this late with Auburn. Looking at their roster, they got Scott Street, who to me is more of a right defensive end, just because he's more of your stay-at-home run stuffing, power defensive end. He doesn't have the speed to get home against left tackle on the right to get the blind side of the quarterback on the left side. So I look at Piper as more of the left end if I was to place these guys, and he will be a good one. He's got 77 speed, so he's got more speed than the other defensive ends on this team. He offers good strength with 78, not great, but still good enough that he'll be able to get home. And he has great tackle potential with 100. Pass rush and run defense are both pretty equal in the 70s. I think that's more than adequate for him to pile up some numbers, especially if he's on the left side. So I really thought that Auburn did a really good job adding 2 players to a defense that was really in need of some infusion. This team is just a couple years off of winning the SEC West, and so I don't think they're that far off. I think the 1-15 season was kind of an aberration, and this team should compete a lot better this year. When you add 2 players of this caliber, it's only going to get you closer to what you're hoping to get to. And I think with Offensive Taco coming in, he's got a fresh look. He's going to be hungry, and I think that it shows with this draft. Both Sloth and I gave him an A on our grades. So that's a good start for the first 2 rounds for a new owner in a tough league like this. Get your team turned around. So congratulations.